Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Well, this is a player coming off a...
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And this isn't what they want to see. Rivers, their captain, still down. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. 2nd down and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
To throw is Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Barker. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They run with Ajayi. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 16 carries, 116 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st downs. Ertz over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there...
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the
mark.
highest you can get. That's where he is.
Trevor Siemian, an early touchdown pass in that one. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 11. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now it's Ajayi, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On 1st down, Wentz looking middle, and that's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage if he has just a little bit of time to serve. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Here's Ajayi. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 4-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Here's Wentz to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it's 3rd and 4.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. They'll come out in the pistol. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Open now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. Brings it just past the 15. Able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
This is Ajayi. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On play action, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught at the 20. And he is down deep into Giant territory. A big play there for Philly. 63 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone, spinning away. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Wentz now to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Now they try the right side here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters. Now you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Throwing now is Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 19 yards to pick up there.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there.
And the ball is knocked out. And who's got it? The Giants. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it?
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. Despite a little power on the move, still tackled shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to air one out. They've got his man complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, You probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. He's going to air one out, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Jay's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. And it's the Redskins scoring again to open up that lead. Matt Barkley leading the way offensively. They run again with Ajayi. And he's brought down. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Wentz to throw. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now a road win in the National Football.